Welcome back to Fun to Tech Insights. Today we're diving into one of Wall Street's most memeified yet maddening tickers, MSTR, better known as Strategy Inc., formerly MicroStrategy. The stock that makes you ask, is this a software company, a crypto hedge fund, or just Bitcoin in a soup?
Honestly, it's all three. Strategy Inc. is like that one friend who says they do tech, but spends all their time checking crypto charts. They were a respected business intelligence software company, but now they're basically a publicly traded Bitcoin vault with a dash of analytics sprinkled on top.
All right, let's start simple. Who exactly is Strategy Inc., and Maddie, what do they actually do these days?
So, Strategy Inc., ticker MSTR, is a U.S. technology company based in Tysons Corner, Virginia. Founded back in 1989, it used to sell business intelligence software to help companies crunch data. But in 2020, their CEO, Michael Saylor, had an aha moment, or maybe a hold my beer moment, and started converting company cash into Bitcoin. Now, instead of being known for dashboards and analytics, Strategy Inc. is known for holding hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins, making it the largest corporate Bitcoin holder on Earth. They've basically rebranded themselves from software nerds to Bitcoin evangelists.
So they've gone from coding to hodling. Got it.
Exactly. They're the only tech firm whose balance sheet looks like a crypto wallet.
Let's talk numbers. What's Strategy Inc. trading at right now, and how's it been doing?
As of this week, November 2025, Strategy Inc. is sitting around $231 a share, down roughly 3% on the day. Market cap's hovering near $68 billion, with about 8 million shares traded daily. Now, this stock is volatile, like your friend who day trades on vacation volatile, because MSTR basically moves tick for tick with Bitcoin. If BTC sneezes, MSTR catches the flu.
So if Bitcoin jumps 5%, MSTR does a backflip.
Exactly. And if Bitcoin falls 5%, MSTR takes a nap in traffic.
What's been moving the stock lately? Any big news or catalysts?
Oh, plenty. First, they rebranded from MicroStrategy to Strategy Inc. back in August. It's like changing your Instagram handle after a breakup. They're trying to show the world they're serious about this new Bitcoin Treasury identity. Then, in Q3 2025, they reported some monster numbers, EPS of $8.42 and revenue around $128 million, which beat expectations. But, and here's the catch, most of that profit came from paper gains on Bitcoin, not from selling software or analytics tools. They've also bought more Bitcoin, roughly 487 coins, for about $49.9 million in early November. And that's their pattern. Raise money, buy more Bitcoin. Repeat.
So they're literally a Bitcoin buying machine.
Yep. Imagine if your savings account kept borrowing money to buy crypto. That's MSTR in a nutshell. Also, small storm cloud overhead. They've got a few lawsuits hanging around, with investors claiming the company wasn't fully transparent about risks tied to its Bitcoin strategy. But let's be real, anyone buying MSTR at this point knows what they're signing up for.
All right, let's get nerdy. What do the financials look like?
They're a bit of a paradox. Their Q3 2025 revenue was about $128.7 million, up 11% year over year, not bad for the old software segment. But the real fireworks came from net income of $2.8 billion, thanks to Bitcoin's fair value accounting gains. The company's guidance assumes Bitcoin hits 150K by year end, projecting an almost cartoonish $34 billion operating income and $80 EPS, but only if that BTC price happens. So it's like forecasting your rent based on winning the lottery.
Sounds like they're riding on hopium.
Yeah, exactly. And fun fact, they only have about $54 million in cash. So all these Bitcoin buys are financed through debt and equity offerings. Basically, they're turning Wall Street's money into digital gold, one ATM issuance at the time.
Let's get nerdy. What do the charts say?
Charts say, buckle up. Right now, the 50-day moving average sits around $305 and the 200 near 342. MSTR's price of 231 is way below both. That's like trying to climb Everest in flip-flops. Support levels around $230, then 180 and 115. If it drops below 230, things could get spicy. Resistance levels, $300 to $335, and then 400 plus if Bitcoin skyrockets. Traders currently label it a strong sell, though die-hard crypto fans treat those labels like traffic lights in Grand Theft Auto. Totally optional.
All right, what are the pros saying? Are analysts bullish or bearish?
Wall Street's surprisingly optimistic. The consensus rating is a strong buy with an average price target around $470 to $500, which is roughly 100% upside from today's levels. But, huge caveat, analysts disagree more on MSTR than people do on pineapple pizza. Targets range from $175 on the low end to over $700 on the high end. Basically, your outlook depends entirely on whether you think Bitcoin is headed to 80K or 180K.
So, analysts are basically saying if Bitcoin goes up, MSTR goes up. If not, well, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. It's less about price to earnings and more about price to prayer.
What about the social media side? Reddit, X, those places where financial advice comes with memes.
Oh, MSTR is a fan favorite. Reddit's r/Wall Street Bets calls it Bitcoin with a corporate dress code. Retail chatter explodes every time Saylor announces a new Bitcoin buy. Short interest sits around 9% of float, with 25 million shares shorted, so not meme level high, but enough to keep things interesting. A short squeeze is possible if Bitcoin moons, but otherwise it's mostly retail traders trying to time crypto moves with options.
So basically, it's the love child of Tesla and Dogecoin.
Exactly, just with more spreadsheets and fewer tweets. Chuckles.
All right, before we wrap, what are the key risks?
There are three main ones. First, Bitcoin exposure. MSTR's earnings and market cap are tied at the hip to BTC. If Bitcoin tanks, so does MSTR, often faster. Second, dilution risk. They issue stock and debt constantly to buy more Bitcoin, so common shareholders get watered down like cheap whiskey. Third, regulatory and accounting risks. Fair value accounting brings volatility, and regulators are watching how crypto-heavy firms disclose risks. Still, for true believers, MSTR is a high beta bet on Bitcoin's long-term future. If BTC soars, MSTR could double. If not, you might end up explaining to your accountant why you invested in a spreadsheet company to own Bitcoin.
That's one for the therapy fund. So there you have it, Strategy Inc., MSTR, part tech stock, part crypto casino, and 100% wild ride.
Yep, in short, when Bitcoin sneezes, MSTR gets pneumonia. But if Bitcoin hits 150K, they're hosting the after party on Mars.
I'll bring the champagne or the tissues. Thanks for tuning in for another fantastic episode of Funded Tech Insights. Remember, folks, this isn't financial advice, just mildly entertaining market therapy. Catch us next week when Maddie explains about next stock. Excitedly, till then, take care of yourself. Bye-bye and keep investing.